Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Alt Tabbed here on the Eternal Alt. And folks, as you can see, we are back in Final Fantasy XIV today. Got quite a bit we can get done. Got a little time to go ahead and try to push through as much of the storyline as we can. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. We are already in Camp Blue Frog, or Blue Fog, pardon me, not Blue Frog. Which was the next part of our journey. We're going to go ahead and talk to the Flame Sergeant here. And we're basically here to kind of raise the morale of the troops. That's kind of what they've sent us here for. Alright, so gotta speak with Robon, who's way out here. Oops, I almost forgot. I gotta zoom back out of here. So we are actually in an area where we could get attacked, so gotta be a little more careful. Let's see. There's a fate over here, and I really just don't want to mess with it. Oh, basilisk there. Alright, we're just going to kind of slide through there. Obviously, I could have teleported to the processing plant, but why spend the 70 gil when I was basically right there? Alright. Alright, we gotta fire these folks up. Get them rallied. We're psyching them up. Alright, there's another one. Okay, got him ready. Oh, and there is the last one. You know, down and roll. We're gonna get them pumped up. All right. Like the Edelstein here. Oh, gotta get him pumped up too, I guess. Okay. Earrings we really don't need. Not low level anyway. Yeah, teaches you how to do the attack markers and stuff. I've already done a lot of those. Okay. There we go. While we're slowly making our way out there, I may mention, I mention it because it's part of MMOs, but I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be in this particular free company. There has been some drama that I am not fully aware of all that what happened, but I just know the last couple of days has been very it's been very tight as far as people dealing with each other and stuff. We've got two of the higher level people in the company who are they're having this very passive aggressive type argument going on, and of course that kind of stuff drives me insane, but I'm not gonna hang around tension. I got tension in real life. I don't need it in video games. All right, Robon. There's the castrum. And everybody knows the score here. And now we're going to have to go fight the castrum here. Obviously, because of the situation, being that I am recording this and don't want to sit here and wait for 30 minutes, we're just going to go ahead and do it with the, and I don't think, yeah, can't skip any of these. Y'all are going to get a good painting of what goes on here. Okay. Of course, this isn't the big story arc area yet. Fire off some. All right. There we go. Get some shots going here. And basically this, you know, as I said, I'm using Bard for the mobility. I just think it's going to be a lot easier getting through some of the content. So if you didn't catch the last episode, that's the reason I'm back on Bard here. I'll probably ride that till I get to Dancer, and then I will carry Dancer at least until 70. And then at that point, I think my game plan is going to be to go ahead and use my Reaper. Obviously, it's at level 90 because of the discovery that I made that I had bought a token for this character and had just not used it. But yeah, that's kind of something it's kind of the way I intend on running it. I don't know. Plans change. Plans always change. Dragging them in. Oops. Come on. All right. Speed up getting to him here a little. Come on. There we go. Drag them all in. That's what I needed to see. Cohort Decurion there is a little tougher than the rest. Come on. Okay, let's get down in here. The black eft we have to kill. Alright, tank. Go get him. No problem so far. Come on, we gotta kill this thing. Let's go, take him down. Okay. Spare out over here. Out that way. Let's see. Finally. Good grief. Pitch perfect. Disposal chute nearby. I don't remember. Oh, there it is. All right. Heading upstairs. Let's see, assault craft coming in, watch for fire. Firing these AoE attacks, doing as much damage as we can. Well, I can tell you from the chat, it sounds like maybe there's a truce on. I hope. Alright. So let's hit some speed here. That one, the other one. Come on. Okay. Oh, these guys. There we go. Come on. Oh, this would be so much faster with regular people. It would take so much longer to get into. Whoops, accidentally clicked off. Did not mean to do that. Unfortunately, you just got to fight these things. They do not just let you pass. Oh. Still close enough to hit them both good. There, right right there is exactly why I'm using Bard. Because I can move. Another one that would have been fun would be Machinist. But the problem with Machinist is you don't get to play it till after you've beaten this first area. And so, or after you've beaten Realm Reborn. And so you really don't get the opportunity. There we go. So you don't really get the opportunity to do anything. To do anything with it. I mean, I guess I could. I mean, obviously I could go just start running it through raids and stuff to catch it up. But I mean, after you've already, done the grinding to get to 50. Alright, gonna run over here. Trying to get out of the wave there. Stay in the clear area. Oh, I need to actually be using step up a hair. Come on. This guy does not want to die. It's such a sponge as far as damage. Alright, 19%. We're working our way there. Alright, we dropped them finally. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. Alright, let's carry on. What's these guys? Come on. Come on. just feel like it takes forever to kill this guy. Oh, look, I'm going the wrong way. Dadgummit. Gotta go that way. Turn around, I was like, what? Where am I? Alright, we're gonna go over here and find Sid. Alright, tank's going to pick them all up. I'm just kind of waiting, let him get aggro. And there we go. Fire off another one. Let's fire off another one. There we go. Didn't realize I popped off there. It really doesn't hit that hard. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, switch. And then these guys. Uh-oh. Crap. I thought I was backing away and did not back away far enough. Shoot. Oh well. It's very forgiving on these early ones, but man, these fights take more stinking ever. It's so easy to lose concentration because it's the same mechanic over and over and over. So switch to single target. Finally. And Sid's gonna fire the cannons. Boom. And there she is. Oh yeah, they're gonna make me wait. I always wondered why, if you're gonna force people to watch them, why don't you have the, actually have voiced parts? Alright, let's see here if we can take her out. Well, she's a groupie. She's in love with the Emperor. Okay, we'll say there. You gonna let me fight him? All right, so this is a fairly mechanic-heavy fight. Hit with the triple there. Hit all that. Fire that off. Get that going. Alright, so we're running to here, then you have to run into here. So it's double up on mechanic. And it feels totally wrong when you're doing it because you're like, I'm running into danger, but you have to because there's no option. There. Alright, I'll stay right there. Okay. Then to over there. Ah, missed it. I missed it. Oh, which reminds me, I gotta re-put that on now. Just firing with everything we got. Alright, and they're gonna drop this. Oh, gotta go to a corner. Go to a corner, go to a corner. Alright. I was in a bad spot there. I don't like to bunch up. Alright, she's casting something. And then this is one you gotta go to the middle because that's the least damage of all of them. So you're trying to get as far away from the circles as you can. And then she hits you with that. So then we got to wait for that one to explode, then come into this one. It's you know, a little mechanic heavy. It's not difficult to understand. It's just mechanic heavy. All right, so we get that, turn that back on. Back up. Gotta get over here. That's the furthest distance I can get. Alright. But I could run over there with them, but like I said, I don't really like to bunch up. That. And our healer's doing a perfectly fine job. I think we use those again. She's, of course, got her last-ditch power going. All right. And down she goes. Ah, I can skip the ending cutscene. And the tombstones. Finally. So these right here allow us to buy some gear a little bit better than what we're carting around right now. And this is the stuff you run this kind of stuff over and over again to keep getting those tombstones. Alright, let's talk to Robon. And we're going to talk to him again. Okay, so now we got to go back. To be honest, I think I'm just going to teleport to the processing plant because I don't want to wander through those guys. When you're high enough level, it really doesn't matter. You just kind of go do, but I don't want to get held up a bunch because mob grinding is definitely not the premier way to level in this. Alright, so Sid is with us to go take on the ultimate weapon. Alright, let's see. And now we're ready for the Praetorium. If you'll pardon the quick pause there, I had to turn some air on real quick. It was getting hot down here. Alright, so we're ready for the Praetorium, and we are definitely at the end here, working our way through. Awesome. Again, I think this is, yeah, can't be skipped. Land. Now, if I recall, this is a two-part thing. Yeah, when you see that little circular thing moving at the bottom, that usually means it's unskippable. So the ultimate weapon, or the Ultima weapon, is what we're after. The Emperor is trying to use this powerful weapon to well, it's basically he wants to destroy all the primals and then take over. All right, here we go. Oops, wrong one. I meant to actually use that. I do love AoE. Now, one thing that'll be a little different when I'm using Dancer is that the Dancer... let me back up here. The Dancer... Sorry, hang on a second. I'm trying to calculate this. Alright, so anyway, the Dancer does have an AoE. And it's a more forgiving AoE because it doesn't require a target lock, but the bad part about it is that it's up close. So Dancer's kind of, Dancer's a ranged DPS. That's, ranged physical DPS. Let me say it correctly, which is, all fine, obviously. But it's kind of got a little bit of a hybrid to it because it has a close-up melee range area of effect. Okay. Boy, they saw me coming a mile away, did they not? Dead gum. Alright, I'm trying to let the tank get aggro here. If you're new to MMOs, if I could offer you one piece of advice. If you are not tanking, let the tank do their job. Let them get a little aggro, make sure everything's cool, and then just jump right in and just do all the damage you can or all the healing you can or whatever. But yeah, tank needs to take it on. And if you are one that's tanking, you're supposed to lead from the front. So don't be standing back there and waiting for somebody else to do it. You're the one. And if you don't know the area, it's fine to ask, about mechanics and things, or if you don't know exactly what to do, by all means ask, but yeah, you're supposed to be the leader. Okay. Oh, right there. Alright, we're gonna hit some speed. If I recall, we're fixing to get bombarded here. Now, if you're running this with humans, the tank will end up pulling pretty much all the way down the hallway. They go like all the way. They get out of this mess. Love that epic music that's playing. I've got it kind of low because they sometimes copyright claim your content if your music gets picked up too loudly, and sometimes even when it barely is audible. Back up. Alright, dropping them. Let's get some speed going with Peloton. Alright, just drag them on in there, my friend. Good job. Another one. Alright, fire that. I'm just doing the best I can to keep my AoE stuff on cooldown, Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Dropping them. Alright, let's get out of the bombardment here. Alright, Magitech Transporter. Alright, so there's that. Nothing there. Oh, yeah. This one. I'd forgotten about this. And Gaius, the Emperor, Ben Belisar. And it's Sid, my boy. Yeah, it's come to find out Sid's father's not as bad as they would think. See, Sid's a Garlean, so he was actually one of these people at one point in time, and his father was one of the builders that built the big weapon that ended up about laying waste to the world. And so, yeah, basically Gaius is breaking the information that Sid's father did not really, he came to hate the part that he played in that. I was talking about him being a changed man and all that. You ripped open the walls in this place just so you could say that to me. Is that what you want? Yes, Gaius would do that kind of thing. Of course, he's wanting Sid to come back and work with him because Sid is a great engineer, and engineering is what Magitech is kind of built on. Because Garleans don't have access to magic, and so... And of course, he wants to recruit me. But I'm not going to do that. Obviously. All right. Ah, yes. This thing. What a pain in the butt. All right. Run, sit, or stay. Makes no matter. So now we got to beat this thing. Alright. Glad I waited to start this when I had some... There we go. When I had a little extra time. This is kind of a long fight here. Look at that. Uh-oh. Trying to watch and make sure we stay out of the... Alright, come on. We got you. Okay, what's going to be his... Alright, so now we got to all stay kind of away from each other. Not too hard of a mechanic there. You just don't want to be piled up, take too many hits at once. Oh heck, need to be using poison. Dadgummit, I always forget the poison. Got a couple of dots there. That's one thing I don't think I'll have to do with Dancer. I don't think I'll have to try to remember to put poisons and stuff on. It's just hard hits, and you just kind of... My only real concern with Dancer is remembering how to do the remembering how to do that big attack. That you have to push a button combination. That's the one thing that really does concern me. Alright. We just about got that Colossus down. There we go. Yeah, he wasn't too bad. He wasn't too bad at all. Alright, so now we work the Magitech terminal. Okay. And so now we get to use some Magitech armor, which I do find pretty cool. I ain't going to lie. And so now we're going to go back outside into the bombardment. So here we go. Having to use that there. Alright. I have to say one thing is the Magitech armor is pretty stout. It does good damage. I mean, you can see kind of... Whoops. Turn over here. I don't want to get hit. The bad part is that I'm doing it by myself because the NPCs are not cool enough. Okay. Okay, I can't use that yet. Whoops, too close, or too far, I mean. Just gotta stay turned that direction. Oops, back up. Gotcha. Alright. And then we head down here. Let's see, I believe there's some stuff that pops out of walls here. Yep. There it is. Right. More of these guys. I do kind of like that they let you have a little bit of fun with this. All right. Oop. Another one. All right. All right, everybody up here? All right, there we go. Tanks up there doing the tanking thing. Okay. Oh, that way. And one more. There's, oh, here's with another one. Photon stream. You do end up getting this particular mount, but unfortunately you don't get to get the cool parts of it. Let's see. And there we go. Alright. Beating them down. Okay. He's gonna make us overload. And of course, Sid, we're getting so far down into the place that Sid can't really easily get a hold of us. Boom. And we've done run it down. We'll have to leave our armor here. Alrighty. They'll let us go. I'm ready. Oh yeah. And Nero, this is a guy we'll see quite often. Someone there. Of course, Sid knew Nero. I think they were boys together. Highest ranking tribunus. And now you're starting to see, if you haven't before, this is why I skip cutscenes. Because they go on a while. There's a lot of story to this game. Yet when I exceed all reasonable expectations, people will proclaim that I walk in the footsteps of the great Sid Nan Garleman. He actually said Sid Nan Bloody Garleman. So anyway, Nero has got a victim complex going on here, and we're going to have to decomplex him. And then he blocks the signal. So now we got to fight Nero. And yes, obviously our power of the echo would be very useful. And he picks up his hammer. All right. all the talking later. We're going to finally get into a fight. I don't really remember this fight very well. I don't recall it being just extraordinarily difficult, but alright, let's get this turned up. Alright, let's get that fired off. Put the 3-shotter there, put that in him. And basically, I'm kind of keeping a little bit of an eye down there on the Mage's Ballad that's running across. When it gets down to about 5 seconds is when you want to fire your next power. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Let me get over here. I did make it. Barely. Fire that one. So I didn't have a target, so it didn't fire off that first one. Oh, that's right, you gotta run to the middle. Almost forgot, because he's gonna push us back. And if he pushes you back into that, you take extra damage, so. Oh, and then this is another little one you have to get. There we go. You have to get up in there. So when it's showing a draw in on a character, you follow that into the character, so you run up to them. That just means they're the safest spot. Let's get that started back up. Alright. Let's get that shot. Oh. Time for this again. Now, if I'd have been stuck on the outside of that, I'd have taken a really hard hit. Might have even been enough to kill me. So, but in this game, when they do the mechanics, most of the time they mean it. This changes nothing. Of course it does. The ultimate weapon is activated and brims with the power of icons. Nothing can withstand its power. Something like that. Are you alright? That depends on what you mean by alright. Yeah, Nero ducked out. Alrighty. So, this is all part of a orchestrated attack on the castrums. We all got together as a people and decided to try to push the garlands out. And so that's what we're doing. Or the Garleans. And obviously we're going to continue to push further in. So, let's see. There is, yep, there it is. Gotta say, I knew there was a spot. And And then we can go work this little Magitech terminal. We are going to continue our little escapade.
Look for the lip's control panel. It'll be somewhere nearby. Take the lip down, and you should find yourself in the chamber of the Ultima weapon.
Here we go. One thing about the Garleans, they really like their oversized elevators.
Keep your eyes peeled. Gaius could be waiting for you down there.
Could be.
And don't even think about dying. You're too bloody useful. The interference is getting worse. I don't think the connection will last much.
And now we're on our own. Look who it is.
For whom do you fight? Do you believe in Eorzea? Eorzea's unity is forged of falsehoods. Its city-states are built on deceit, and its faith is an instrument of deception. It is not but a cobweb of lies. To believe in Eorzea is to believe in nothing. In Eorzea, the beast tribes often summon gods to fight in their stead, though your comrades only rarely respond in kind. Which is strange, is it not? Are the 12 otherwise engaged? I was given to understand they were your protectors. If you truly believe them your guardians, why do you not repeat the trick that served you so well at Cartano and call them down? They will answer, so long as you lavish them with crystals and gorge them on ether. Your gods are no different from those of the beasts. Icons, everyone. Except for this, and you will see how Eorzea's faith is bleeding the land dry. Nor is this unknown to your masters, which prompts the question, why do they cling to these false deities? What drives even men of learning, even the great Louis Soir, to grovel at their feet? The answer? Your masters lack the strength to do otherwise. For the world of man to mean anything, man must own the world. To this end, he hath fought ever to raise himself through conflict, to grow rich through conquest. And when the dust of battle settles, it is ever the strong who dictate the fate of the weak. Knowing this, but a single path is open to the impotent ruler, that of false worship, a path which leads to innovation and death. Only a man of power can rightly steer the course of civilization. And in this land of creeping mendacity, that one truth will prove its salvation. Come, champion of Eorzea, face me. Your defeat shall serve as proof of my readiness to rule. It is only right that I should take your realm, for none among you has the power to stop me.
Gaius is a really deep bad guy. Alright. I'll go ahead and start my attack. triple there pretty early. Yeah, now Gaius has the sword thing going on. He's got sword skills. I don't recall this being an extraordinarily difficult fight, but you do have to pay attention where those are going, and you don't get a lot of time to make the decision, so when he puts those little sword skills up, you got to figure out pretty quick where it's going. Oh crap, get in there, get in there. I like to screw it up. I was looking down trying to see which power I wanted to use, and I boo-booed there. Somewhere in there. I'm still locked onto him, so I'm just going ahead and firing. Oh, and then we gotta get in here on the tank. If I decide to do any healing, I'll be using Sage. It's literally the only healing power in this game, but it's got like great mobility to it. And I have to have mobility because I am just not... Oh, and see, we add a little extra to the mechanic there. Everybody's going to go their own way, because if you don't, you're going to get hit. Alright, got my 3-shot back immediately. Perfect. Oops, and time to fire that again. Stand in this vicinity. Yep, perfect choice. Fire there. And they do their best to catch you napping with too many. Oh, that's right. We gotta destroy blade energy thingies. Yeah. So if you don't kill enough of these, you end up dying. Of course, you're trying to do that while you've got all this other crap going on. I'm going to end up getting killed doing this. Yep, I knew it. I freaking knew it. I freaking knew it. I messed up. I should have stayed where I was at and taken the one hit. I was out of position. Okay. Let's try that again. So we're going to fire that direction. We're just going to get out of the way. That one right there is basically just like a warning shot to kind of let you know what's about to happen. Now the red one like that means you don't want to be standing where he's at. Oh, I am the guy. Okay. That time I remember to stay a little closer, make that easier. Alright, we're gonna break apart here. So yeah, if you die in the NPC version of this, they don't get the opportunity to bring you back, and so you have to, if that's the case, you do have to go ahead and restart the fight. If this was a regular party, the healer would have just thrown a resurrect and I would have gotten back up. Dead gummit, that hurt. Heal myself back up because the healer was moving awful slow there. Alright, let's do this. So they're basically working on one, I'm working on one. Hopefully that'll make sure we get two down. I'm just trying to be a little more careful where I move to. Alright, so we're going to have those. And are you kidding me? I was out of the way. And so his blade energy was pretty good, but wasn't enough to kill us. Oh. Did we get him?
Thought to be so hard pressed.
Oh, folks have to talk now.
You.
We're back to a skippable cutscene, so he's gonna bail. So we've mapped to the Praetorium, and we've beaten that one. Now, we'll see. I can't remember if this... Yep, two-parter. There's the Ultima weapon.
Allow me, then, hero, to do that which you will not.
Okay. Let's skip that cutscene. So he's activating the Ultima weapon. And now we have to fight this one. So this is a series. Alright, so we got everything pretty well ready. I'm going to take that down. Alright, folks. Here we go. And we are getting a lot, a lot of raiding basically done here. I think this is, I can skip that part of the cutscene. All right. This is the big bad everybody was worried about. Alright. Let's do this. And so you have those things. Oops. Gotta run to this end. And some stuff out of this you'll be able to dodge, some stuff you will not. It just kind of is what it is. Now, one thing's for sure, I'm standing by the Serpent Conjurer. You got this epic track going on while you're fighting. So I am sure, I've never played World of Warcraft, so I can't be positive, but I am sure World of Warcraft raiding is probably much more difficult. But I would seriously doubt that it is the spectacle that you get from Final Fantasy raiding. So now we're caught up in this. Of course, it's all bad. And Heidelin with her hear, feel, think. And foes darkness clad in steel, thou wast triumphed, thou must look to the light. And so we're getting the blessing of light. And down goes that thing. And then back to combat. Alright, let's get firing again. But of course, they're not done yet. So he's releasing Garuda to fight us. You gotta stay within this little sliver it gives you. Because there's a cyclone going on right there. All right, hit that. Come on. All right. Okay, now we got a fervent hope shines forth, or some mess like that. And this one gets a little more interesting. Oop, get out of that. Okay. Get that one. Like that little multi-shot single target attack. That's very helpful. Just wish it came around a little more often. Alright. Ultimate weapon. I mean, this thing is a damage sponge. It is very hard to take down. Now, at this point, you can't actually dodge anything. Naught will remain of you but ash. Alright. Come on.
But the Ultima weapon is all-powerful! Why does my enemy still stand?
And then
Can her strength truly be so great?
It is the blessing of light that confounds you.
La Habrea.
La Habrea.
And look who it is.
Your foe acts under the protection of the crystal she bears.
So, this is what empowers her.
Beyond mortal limits. If you are to prevail, the hammer of darkness must needs be brought to bear upon the shield of light. And so it shall, for the Ultima weapon is host to a power of which you are as yet ignorant.
Speak plainly, Ascian.
The heart of Sabik. It is the weapon's core, an enigma whose surface even the vaunted scholars of ancient Aleg failed to scratch. The magic within has lain dormant for eons.
Of what magic do you speak?
A spell
Now,
without
our friend here,
parallel.
you've only barely seen him because I've
Ultima.
barely shown you any cutscenes, but he is
I
under the
sought
control
life force of, the
of something.
primals for no other reason but to quicken
So,
the core.
he's not
For
evil.
the true power of the Ultima weapon lies within its now beating heart.
La Habrea, what have you done?
No more than was necessary for my god to be reborn.
Damn you, Asian.
The hour is at hand. Behold but a sliver of my god's power. And from the deepest pit of the seven hells to the very pinnacle of the heavens, the world shall tremble. Unleash Ultima!
Uh-oh.
Such devastation! This was not my intention!
Well, you know.
Hydaelyn, it seems the task of keeping your champion alive has exhausted what strength you had left. Van Belsar,
And so the game
your
plan
enemy's shield
that La
is
Habrea
broken.
had was to make Hydaelyn,
The
who has been
rest
protecting
I
us this whole
leave
time,
to you.
expend her energy. And so now we are on our own, quote unquote.
Asian. But first, I must deal with you. The question of who is mightier remains. Come, adventurer. Let us find the answer together.
Okay. And here we go. All right. Start it off. So now the ultimate weapon is back up. Alright, just all stay kind of separated there and we should be fine.
Gaze upon true power.
Yeah, you're not quite hitting as hard, my friend. Oh, that's right. Forgot you gotta destroy those. Whoop! Everybody in on the thaumaturge. Okay, let's get some fire a blast. Oops. I mean, the ultimate weapon's neat and all, but it's not a really big enemy. Alright, back to the middle. Alright, back away. Alright, oops, everybody back. Oh gosh, gotta go that way. Gotta go that way. time. Barely. So you got to figure out, got that, and then everybody run to the middle. Let's see. Come on. Oops. Get out of the way of that blast. Man. It's like no matter which way I go, I'm running the wrong way. Alright, let's see what we're going to do here. Alright, we're going to go into the split pattern, so that's perfect. And I have got that, so I'm just going to run in with everybody else. Oops. Oh, crap. Running right back into it. Alright, we're going to do that. Okay, we can do that. I'm really not happy the healer is like really slow on the uptick here. We're taking a lot of damage on. What? That was strange. Okay. They got, is this like a can't lose situation here? Because I most definitely should have died there. I think the part that kind of bothers me about that is the darn the part that kind of concerns me with that is that the NPCs didn't run with me. Yeah, we got them. Leveled up again, too. And here we go.
No! No, no, no! Yeah.
through Gaius.
Heed me. The subjects of a weak ruler must needs look to a high-up.
Yeah, he's going to give his little speech. And we got the 100 tombstones. We'll head out of that. And I might as well let you see the escape scene.
Pathetic. You boasted of unrivaled power. You were entrusted with the ultimate weapon, the ultimate magic. And still, you failed. So much for the glory of man. The growing imbalance afflicting the planet must be redressed. If it is permitted to worsen, the very laws of existence, both etheric and physical, will be warped beyond all recognition. Know you the root of this corruption? Hydaelyn. Like a parasite, she must be burned out if the planet is to recover. And naught but the return of the one true god will ensure her complete excision. Yet, to pave the way for the Master's return, a chaotic confluence of untold proportions must needs be brought about. And that will necessitate the presence of the primals. Needless to say, both you and your scion accomplices cannot be suffered to interfere in this endeavor. You will not leave this place alive.
Now you have the gist. Here we go.
It is past time your flame was extinguished, bringer of light.
Can you imagine first time playing this, actually following the story and everything? Of course, La Habrea is, for us at this point, pretty much undefeatable. Just kind of staying alive as long as I can here. So you can see I'm getting a little healing. Maybe we're doing practically nothing. And the gist is really just to make you feel like you're doing something here. Yeah, I mean, can't avoid the attacks. I mean, alright, let's try it again. So, I'm going to go very easy on this because I'm running out of time.
It is Pat.
Yep. We've already been through all that. Let's try this again. I have beaten him before on the first shot, but I had a bad feeling I might not be able to on, because his capabilities are just kind of come on. I've also usually got a little more healing on me too. I come to think of it, I typically fought this with somebody that's got self-heals. This may be pretty difficult for me in this situation. Whew. Boy, he's a pain. Alright, let's hit that again. Get over there. Gotta get moving. And you can see, even on very easy, it's not exactly quick. I can't remember if there's a point you get to where this becomes and of course, if you recall this, you got to not using very strong. And of course, I have no way of stopping that. And then but as So say I remembered there being a point where you didn't actually die. Just couldn't remember how far you had to get. And now we got our Super Saiyan form. We got like a speed boost. Oh yeah, we're like super fast. Let's go ahead and use that. Yeah, we're doing some like real damage now. Alright, got it back. Did it again. Had to get to a somewhat safe spot to hit the button. I went off screen. I don't know how in the world I keep sliding that far. But somehow I do. Have it available to me. And we got him. Finally.
If thou wouldst pierce the shadows, make thee a blade of light.
And there we have it. And we break the spell. Send La Habrea back to wherever he was.
What?
Now La Habrea is having to face down Heidelin, who's not quite done.
The light, it binds them. They are too many.
And the spell's broken. Now there's one slight problem. Stuff's going boom. I'm going to let y'all see the escape just because it's cool. And look who's back. I'm not sure exactly what he said, but it was probably something like, hey, you gonna leave this place or what? Or maybe it was, come with me if you want to live. Of course, Gaius is still in the middle of the pit, and we're running down the hall.
And so my conquest ends, Cid. In smoke and ashes.
And we running.
Hear, feel, think. Warrior of light, beloved daughter. The darkness hath fled before the unclosed brilliance of thy spirit. Yet it lingereth still beyond the sight of men, in forgotten corners of the world. In the depths of the abyss yet resideth the Dark One, watchful ever, till this evil be cast out. Never shall the world know aught but a passing peace. Yet for the present, a gentle light shineth o'er the realm of Eorzea. With thee at its heart. From sparkling moat shall it swell to glorious sun, and all the world shall bask in its warmth. Blessings and joy be upon thee. Go forth, my child, and be as a beacon of hope for Eorzea and the lands beyond through all the days of thy life.
Of course, they're watching everything go boom.
My lady, all Twin Adder units have fallen back to the outer perimeter.
The Flames have completed their withdrawal, General.
Admiral, all hands accounted for.
She's still in there.
Cid, has there been no word?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Damnation!
She's going to make it, I know she is.
Ida is right. We must have faith.
Sid, can they not be evacuated aboard the Enterprise? That adventurer and the Scions are as the Warriors of Light reborn. We cannot abandon them to their fate. Not again.
I wholeheartedly agree, but flying into the midst of that would only add to the fireworks.
There must be something we can do.
Please, Mother Hydaelyn. Please light her way through the darkness.
Look into the light, my child. If thou would see thy companions returned safe to thee, reach out to them now.
If you don't know, Menphilia also has the Echo and can talk to Hydaelyn. She said there. She's pointing.
Oh!
Yay! Our Warrior of Light.
Yes! The hero returns!
Look! Thancred is with her!
Yeah. Thancred. We gotta talk about that.
Thank the 12!
Thank Hydaelyn.
Welcome home.
All right. And then this is the ending cutscene for the first part of A Realm Reborn. I'm not going to make you watch this all the way through.
You almost got us killed that one time, remember?
Because I'll mute them. So I'm not going to make you watch this all the way through because this takes a while. There's tons and tons of credits that they're throwing around here, and then they go and show a list of every player character that's ever beaten it. So I think it's only player characters that have beaten it on this server, but you get the idea. And so, yes, there you have it. So, guys, that is going to call an end to this episode. Obviously, I don't normally show all these different cutscenes and stuff, but I think the end of this one was pretty cool, and it was, I think, worth taking that extra few minutes to kind of let you see the ending of it, especially considering, you pretty much you can't skip a lot of those duties that we just did toward the end, and so you kind of have to see. And so I guess it was kind of, to me, worth it to go ahead and let you see the ending of it. That way you kind of know what all happened. So anyhow, guys, yeah, that will be the end of this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed this one. We're going to come back and continue on in another episode at some point. I don't know how long it'll take me. It just depends on when I want to record, what do I feel like playing. So we'll kind of see what ends up happening there. But yeah, guys, definitely, if you enjoyed it, hit the like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And of course, guys, as always, I will see you on the next alt.